Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. How are you today? Thank you for attending the meeting.
Waalaikumsalam.
I'm fine.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you.
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Very good, thank you, sir.
Okay. Since we are all here, let's get started with our meeting. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Hazim for noticing our members today regarding the meeting. And I'm afraid Ms. Ling could not join us today as she has errands with Lang Tengah Island project with our CEO. And as stated in the agenda, the main purpose of this meeting today is to discuss and make a decision on the three sites, which I have assigned Mr. Uji, Ms. Fateen, and Ms. Diandra regarding our Project Alpha. But before that, I would like to ask Mr. Hazim to go through the minutes of our last meeting, which was held on 31st December 2020. So, Mr. Hazim, the floor is yours. You may give presentation regarding our meeting.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This is the minute of the first committee meeting of Project Alpha. It was held on December 21, 2020 at Al-Sham meeting room. Okay, the meeting was called to order at 9 a.m. by the chairman, Mr. Ahmad. We thank everyone for making the time on a short notice.
Excuse me, Mr. Hazim. I'm afraid
Yes,
that
Mr.
you...
Shri.
Okay, I'm afraid that you have my name wrong. It's actually Mr. Ahmad Rusydi, not Rusli. So I hope you can change that. Thank you.
I take it as an account, Mr. Shri. Sorry for that mistake.
Okay, it's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Then the chairman briefed the committee on the latest investment to be made by Surya Holdings Sdn Bhd, which was Project Alpha. Project Alpha is aimed at meeting the educational and entertainment needs of Gen Z and Gen Alpha. The committee was informed that the approximate cost for the project was 150 million.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Hazim, but I believe that the budget is supposed to be 250 million ringgit and not 150 million ringgit.
Thank you, Miss Diandra. I take that. Okay, for the Project Alpha, there are three potential sites. First site to be developed and turned into Project Alpha was a reserve named Bukit Belancan in Ampang, Selangor. It is located 15 km from Kuala Lumpur and accessible by car. It is currently closed to the public for a total refurbishment. Second site was an empty warehouse in Pasir Gudang, Johor, with 5,600 meters square. It is 18 km from Singapore, 32 km from Johor Bahru, and 41 km from Kudai. It's used to store heavy farming machinery in the past.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hazim. Allow me to interrupt. But you got it.
Yes,
You misspelled Pasir Gudang as Pasir Gadong in the slide.
Thank you, Ms. Fateen. I will take that.
Thank you.
Okay, the third site was a green hilly land in Bukit Kor Terengganu, which is a combination of hill and flat green land with adventurous curve and turns. It is located in Marang and about 200 km from Kuala Terengganu.
Sorry, if I may interrupt, Mr. Hazim. The distance
Yes,
between
Mr.
Marang and
Yuji.
yeah, okay. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Hazim, but I guess the distance between Marang and Kuala Terengganu should be 20 kilometers and not 200 kilometers.
Okay, thank you for pointing it out, Mr. Yuji. I will take that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hazim.
Thank you, Mr. Yuji. Okay. All three sites are undeveloped yet possess unique attractive feature that could attract crowds. Ms. Lee suggested that the community be given 2 days to visit each site in order to experience the ambient of the place firsthand. Okay, the suggestion for the project is the committee was informed that Surya Holding is aiming for an educational with business venture for which the proposed site could be a place where global technology meets nature in dynamic symbiosis.
Mr. Hazim, sorry to interrupt again, but I think you have misspelled Surya in the slide.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Diandra. Okay, Ms. Fateen also proposed that the committee be given 2 months to research the 3 sites and their potential so that a viable business camp educational project could be for. This suggestion was seconded by Ms. Diandra, but the time frame agreed to be reduced to 4 weeks. Mr. Rusydi suggested that each committee member should choose a proposed list and make a proposal on the idea of development according to the need of Project Alpha. Okay, any other business during the meeting is Ms. Ling suggested that Mr. Ugeenesh will be put in her place as she has been assigned to head the Lang Tengah project. That's all from me, Mr. Rusydi. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Hazim, and thank you everyone for pointing out the amendments in the minutes given. So, would someone move that the minutes of the last meeting accepted?
I propose that the minutes be accepted.
And as for me, I will second the motion.
Okay. I hereby confirm the minutes of the last meeting with a few amendments. So, thank you everyone. Before we go into our main purpose, main agenda for today's meeting, our next agenda is matters arising. So, is there any matters arising regarding the past meeting?
Yes, sir. So from the previous meeting, Ms. Ling suggested that we pay a visit to the site, and we already went there by using our own money. I believe that we can claim from the budget. So can you explain how to claim it?
Okay, so basically, you can claim your journey by providing receipt or any evidence that you went there, but you only can claim that after this project ends. Is that clear?
I see. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I am sorry, sir.
Yes.
Sir, but I have to disagree with your suggestion because, as we all know, this project will take a long time, and as it takes a long time, we need to use our own money, and by using our own money, sometimes it will, as we need to use our own money, we do not have enough funds to actually allocate it for a long time. So I hope you have another idea or suggestion to change the way that we could claim the money.
If I may allow to interrupt, I strongly agree with Mr. Ugeenesh, and I would like to suggest that Mr. Chairman himself discuss this matter with Human Resources Department so that we could get we could claim the payment before the end of the project.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
Ms.
your
Fateen.
suggestion. Okay, thank you for your suggestion, Ms. Fateen, and thank you, Diandra, for asking. Later, I'll make a meeting with the Human Resources Department, and I try to ask them to provide you guys to claim it earlier before this project ends lah. Okay. So our main agenda today is your proposal presentation. So let's get started with Ms. Diandra regarding Bukit Belacan Forest Reserve. Okay, the floor is yours, Ms. Diandra.
Okay, thank you, sir. So hello, everyone. This is Ms. Diandra of Committee 1 member speaking. So I would like to present about Bukit Belacan Forest Reserve, which is located in Selangor. So firstly, let me highlight the points about this area. First, it is located in the southern area of the Selangor State Park. Second, it is rich in wildlife, so we can set up tour guides so that the tour guides can explain about the flora and fauna which inhabits this area. And thirdly, it is accessible from the city by car, which is located 15 kilometers away from Kuala Lumpur. And lastly, it is clean and fairly maintained, so we don't have to spend extra money to clean up the place. Next slide. Okay, so the project that I'm thinking of making in this area is by creating a water recreation park and a camping site. So the estimated entrance fee for this water recreation park would be 10 ringgits for adult, 5 ringgits for children, and 15 ringgits for foreign passport. First, I will create a food track from the parking lot to the river with information boards of the plant growing alongside of the food tracks so that the visitors don't only enjoy walking with a beautiful scenery around, but they can also learn some new informations about the flora and fauna which inhabits that area. And also, I'm thinking of opening the waterfall and water activities such as rafting. Next slide. And lastly is about the camping site. So the estimated fee would be 30 ringgits for adult, 20 ringgits for children, and 50 ringgits for foreign per night. So I would open a camping spot near the river along with toilet, food stalls, merchandise store, and a place for a rental place for the water activities such as swimming, attires, goggles, and the rest. I'm also thinking of creating an educative night for the campers by displaying a documentary movie about the Bukit Belacan Forest Reserve flora and fauna at night, and also create a place for birding because Bukit Belacan Forest Reserve is well known for many of beautiful and rare birds that inhabits the area. Okay, that's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Diandra, for your presentation. So next we move on to Ms. Fateen, which is our warehouse in Pasir Gudang, Johor. Okay, Ms. Fateen, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, sir. Hi everyone. My name is Fateen Syahira, and I will be representing for committee member 3 and committee member 2 for warehouse in Pasir Gudang, Johor. So the location of the warehouse is located at Kawasan Perindustrian Kota Puteri, Pasir Gudang, which is 18 km from Singapore, 32 km from Johor Bahru, and 41 km from Skudai. It is actually located near the highway, which are easily accessible for the visitors or tourists to come to the place. So the size of the warehouse is 5,600 meters square, with the rental fee per month is RM 4,500. The permits have limited car park. However, it is easily accessible to public transport, so there will be no issue of customer finding it hard to go to the permits. Next slide. Okay, thank you. So the activities, the project that we suggest for this project site is indoor extreme park, which include the activities such as wall climbing, paintball, and ninja warrior course. More specifically, each activity will be guided by a certified instructor, and all activities will be charged with some fees, such as wall climbing per individual, and ninja warrior course is RM 25 ringgit per session, and paintball is RM 15 ringgit in a group. Next, for educational purposes, we suggested that we might make a closed segmented space that can help around 40 to 50 persons per time. The closed segmented space are suggested to conduct team building activities for certain company or any clubs, and the team building activity will charge RM 70 ringgit per person. And for cafe bar, we suggest to put a cafe bar in the premise so that the customer can enjoy and buy foods and drink while waiting for their turn to for the activities. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Fateen, for your presentation. So next we move on to Mr. Ugeenesh regarding Bukit Core Terengganu. So Mr. Ugeenesh, you may start your presentation.
Thank you, sir. And yes, good evening to everyone. So today I'll be presenting about the proposed site, which is Bukit Core in Terengganu. So the selected area is actually 2 hectares of hilly landscape, where it is a combination of hills and flat green land with adventurous curves and turns. So the agricultural activity is the main activity that is happening in Bukit Core. And this place is located in Marang, a district famous for fisheries and tourism, and approximately just 20 kilometers from Kuala Terengganu. Next slide, please. Okay. As for the idea, we are going to build a resort and camping site in Bukit Ko. So the resort will be a chalet style where it will be based on traditional Malay houses, mainly focusing traditional houses in Terengganu and Kelantan, which are the timber houses. You could see the picture there. And also we propose to give camping facilities to the tourists as well. So they have options to choose whether to stay in a resort or camp or do camping. So we are also proposing to build a restaurant and also build outdoor activities such as flying fox, cycling tracks. And why we are proposing to build cycling tracks is because the hills are already having adventurous turns and curves. So it will be easier for us to build the cycling track and also to provide bicycles to them. We also can get a tour guide to actually bring them hiking and also have the barbecue facilities to the tourists. As for the educational attraction, uh, as we all know, as I've mentioned before also, that Bukit Ko have local communities in Bukit Ko mainly do agricultural activities. So we could hire a tour guide to bring the tourists to visit these agricultural areas and also visit stingless bee farming, which is happening in Bukit Ko with collaboration with University Malaysia Terengganu. So, and this place, because it's a huge area having 2 hectares of land, we can also build a summer camp venue in future, depending on the situation on how tourists are attracted to this place. And by doing the summer camp, we could attract generations, mainly the younger generations, which are the Generation Z and Generation Alpha, by giving them a lot of activities such as flying fox, spider net, high ropes, and cargo net, and all the other activities you could see there. This will actually build up their survival skills. So this is my proposal today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ugeenesh. Since all of our presenters have present their proposal, now we are going to discuss which project that will be used for Project Alpha. So actually for me, personally, I found out that the warehouse in Pasir Gudang is quite eye-catching and very good idea. So what do you guys think about that?
I'm sorry, Mr. Rusydi, but I can't see any educational purposes with Pasir Gudang project. As we know, our objective is for the educational, right? And Miss Fateen, I want to ask you something. Is your area in Pasir Gudang is enough to create a paintball ground? As we know that we need a large area to play a paintball in a team.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hazim, for the question. So the warehouse size is actually limited. So we acknowledge that paintball require an enormous space, a large space to put on the activities. So me and my team have calculated the estimated size for each activities, which we decided that we will reduce the size for wall climbing and ninja warrior course activities. So the paintball will have more space to be placed inside the warehouse. And for educational purposes, as I stated earlier, we will hang the information in the closed segmented room, so that at least customer will read something at the wall in the warehouse. So does that answer your question, Mr. Hazim?
Yes, Ms. Fateen. Thank you for your answer.
Okay.
Ms. Fateen,
Yes.
if I may suggest for meeting our educational purposes goals, so is there any space left in the warehouse for you to make a small library, or maybe just some space to store some bookshelves?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Diandra, for the question, and thank you also for the suggestion. Uh, as we know, the permit size is 5,006 meters square, which is quite small in the to put everything inside that, to put any activities inside that. So, but the warehouse building is quite tall, so we can actually renovate to make a second floor within the building, and we can store a small library at the second floor. So the suggestion might be considered if the project are to be chosen later. And as for small cabinet to place, small bookshelf to be placed within the premise, we already decided to put one or two at the cafe bar and also the closed segmented area. So despite of the place being an extreme activities, it also have a bit of educational purposes within the premise. Does that answer your
I
question?
see. Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Fatin.
Okay, most welcome.
Okay, since Mr. Hazim have point out that Pasir Gudang does not have any educational purposes, I mean the proposal does not have any educational purposes. What do you guys think about Bukit Belacan? Is it a good place to do this project?
Yes, sir. So first of all, Miss Diandra, I really liked your proposal. The ideas were really good because Bukit Belacan is located in Kuala Lumpur, right? So I think the location will be strategic enough to attract people, the customers, because we need different. Our focus is on different generations, right? And all these generations could be found in the urban city of Kuala Lumpur. So I guess it is a good proposal and a good strategic place. However, my concern is that Bukit Belacan is needs upgrade in terms of the place is quite bad according to some of the tourist reviews in Google. So as you could see, it badly needs an upgrade. This so how are we going to actually do this project if the place is not in a good condition? Are we going to actually upgrade the place first before developing our project? And by doing this, we will cost more. According to my knowledge, it will cost more because we need to upgrade not only a small area but the whole forest reserve, so that we could attract the tourists. So do you have any suggestions to this problem, Miss Diandra?
Yes, thank you so much for your concern, Mr. Ugeenesh. So apparently I have overlooked the place and it definitely needs reforestation. So if I estimated the budget needed for the reforestation plus our project, our budget, which is 250 million ringgit, should be enough. Since in that area, the river is in a great condition and there was many hidden places for adventures that we could definitely use. So I don't think there's a lot of upgrade needed to be done beside doing reforestation. So does that satisfy your question?
Oh, okay, Miss Diandra. Yes, Miss Diandra. As long as the budget is enough, I guess it will be okay. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Diandra, I want to ask you something. As the Bukit Belacan is a forest reserve, can we develop a project there, or do we need to apply something like permit or permission from state government?
Yes, thank you for your question, Mr. Hazim. Yes, so since Bukit Belacan is a forest reserve, so before we start doing our project, we need to ask permission first from the state government and also the forest department. And then after they have given us permission, then we can start doing our project.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Miss Diandra.
Okay, I think we have discussed regarding warehouse in Pasir Gudang and also Bukit Belacan in Selangor. Next, we will move on to Bukit Core Terengganu. Is there anything we can discuss on?
Yes, sir. I would like to ask Mr. Ugeenesh regarding to the project site in Bukit Core. Mr. Ugeenesh, is there any safety measure for the site and also the activities conducted at the Bukit Core? You get my question?
Sorry, Miss Fateen, can you repeat back the question?
Yes.
My
yes,
internet
yes.
connection is unstable.
All right. So okay, I will ask again. For the project in Bukit Core, is there any safety measure for the site and also the activities conducted at the place?
Oh, okay. Thank you for the question, Miss Fateen.
All right.
Yes, for sure we will have the safety measures for the tourists and also for the activities done there, because it is important for us to actually take care of our tourists, of our customers, because the safety is very important. And because of that, we will have trained personnel to actually take care of the activities, and also trained tour guides to bring them hiking, and for any other activities such as the summer camp also, we will have trained personnel. And according as the place is near the forest, we will also have guard houses and also guards to actually take care of the safety of the people there. So I guess it won't be much of a problem as for concerning about the safety of the people there.
Okay, Mr. Ugeenesh, thank you for answering the question.
Did I answer the question?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Fateen.
So anything to
Mr.
add on?
Ugeenesh.
Okay.
I want to ask you something,
Yes,
Mr.
Mr. Azim.
Ugeenesh. Okay. In the slide, you said that there are agricultural activities there. Do you think there will be any objection from the farmers for the development of our project there?
Okay, thank you for the question, Mr. Azim. I do not think that there will be an objection by the local communities there, especially the people who are doing the agricultural activities, because we are actually going to boost their economy as well, because we are going to do a tour to the agricultural site, and because we're doing this tour to the agricultural side, right, we actually need to pay them, so they will teach the tourists there what they are doing there. And also at the same time, we are not, the 2 hectares of land is actually untouched and undeveloped. So we are not really going to affect the agricultural place or the local communities. And because we are also giving them side income, it's going to boost their economy as well. And also their place as a tourism place in Malaysia. So I do not think there will be any objections by the local communities to our Project Alpha in Bukit Core.
Yes, I personally also agree with Mr. Ugeenesh. I don't think there would be objection from the local people since we are going to develop the place. So rather than getting objections, they will thank us because they will gain benefit from us, especially from the economic sector.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Diandra.
So I think that's the end of our discussion for the Project Alpha. I'll make a decision here. So I'm very sorry to Ms. Fateen and Ms. Diandra. I have to reject your proposal because first, in the warehouse proposal, there is lack of educational purposes. And next is for Bukit Belacan. I think we should let it as forest reserve area. And furthermore, it will take us a longer time if we want to engage that place, as we have a lot of procedure to go through before we start this project. But I'll choose Bukit Core Terengganu as our main project because rather than we provide business and education towards Gen Z, Gen Alpha, we also can help the locals there and to develop their place lah. So I think I'll take Bukit Core as our project for Project Alpha. Do you guys agree?
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
I
agree with
agree.
you, Mr. Rusydi.
Okay. Since we all agree, we move on to next agenda, which is
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, sir,
yes.
but I would like to thank all for agreeing on my proposal and also choosing Bukit Ko as the venue for our project Alpha. So I hope we could all do this project and bring it to a success. Thank you all.
Okay. Good job, Mr. Ugeenesh. All right. So our next agenda is we will discuss any other business. So is there anything you want to propose here?
Yes, sir. So we have to go to Bukit Core. But right now there is MCO 2.0, right? So
Yes.
how are we going to get there?
Okay, to answer your question, actually we can ask permission from our PDRM Malaysia. So provide a letter for you guys to go there. So don't worry, this is a small matter. So yeah, later I'll give you the permission and the letter to go there.
Understand,
All right.
sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So since our meeting comes to an end, I would like to summarize everything. So first, we have accepted the minutes from past meeting, and then we have, and then you asked me to provide the claim earlier rather than waiting for the project to end. And next is we are all agree that we will use Bukit Core proposal as our project. And then you asked me for the letter to go Bukit Core Terengganu, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so before I end this meeting, is there any one of you to say anything before I end this?
No, sir.
Okay.
For me,
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Yes, Mr. Ugeenesh.
Okay. So can we know what's the timeline to actually do the research and also the other things for the project before our next meeting?
Okay. Actually, I want to tell you after this, but since you asked me now, I'll give you
Okay.
3 months, 3 months time range. Okay. So I think that is a lot of time, and I think it will be enough. Is it?
Yes, sir. I totally
Okay.
agree with that.
So
Thank you.
all right. Okay, you are welcome. And then, so our next meeting will be on April, I guess. I mean, 3 months from now. So thank you for coming for today's meeting. Have a nice day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, and have a nice day.
Have a nice
Thank
day,
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.